Hi there, boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Mr. Lewis. I'm a computer teacher with Curra Grant Lee, and I'm sure by now that you are a little bit tired of doing English and Afrikaans and maths and SS and NS and all those things, and you're just looking to have a little bit of fun. Well, I can promise you've come to the right place. Okay, so today what we're going to do is during this video, we will make a game together. Okay, so you've probably done some computers in class, and you can follow along with me now, and we will make a game together. Okay, to make your game, you are going to have to need Scratch. Okay, that's the language that we are going to use. So you might have Scratch on your computer already. If you do not have Scratch, then what you can do is ask your mum or your dad to help you with this. You just go to the Microsoft Store. You can see I'm doing it here. Microsoft Store. And then you click up here by the search. And then you type Scratch in there. And this is what you want. Okay, Scratch Desktop. Okay, so you click on that. And you'll see it takes you to this page here. Okay, there'll be a button here that says Get. Okay, so you can just click the Get button. Okay, mine doesn't have it because I've already got it installed. Okay, but what you will do is you'll just click on that Get button. Okay, and that will install it for you. It's completely for free, doesn't cost you anything, and it's great fun. Okay, so that will work if you've got a Windows computer. Okay, if you've got a Mac, or if you've got something that's not Windows, then you won't be able to install the app. So what you do is you just open up your Chrome, okay, your browser, and here in the address, you just type in there scratch.mit.edu, scratch.mit.edu, and you enter that, and this page will come up, and then you click Start Creating, and you'll see that Scratch will open up for you right here in your browser, and you can use this. Okay, so this is perfect if you don't want to install the app. Installing the app is the best way, but if you don't want to install the app, you can use it here in your Chrome browser. Okay, perfect. So here is Scratch. We are going to make a game here. Okay, so if your Scratch, by the way, looks a little bit different to mine, that doesn't matter. You might have a slightly older version, but you will still have an area where all the commands are. You can see they sorted here in the different categories for us. There's going to be an area where you build your program. There's going to be an area where you run your program, and there's going to be an area where you can see your sprites. Okay, yours might just be arranged in a slightly different form. That doesn't matter. Okay, ultimately your Scratch will do the same as what mine does. So what we're going to do today is we are going to build our own game. Okay, games are fun to build them yourself because, and like I tell the children in my class, if it's your game, it's your rules. Okay, so you don't go and download somebody else's app. You can make your own. Okay, so if it's your game, it's your rules. And there's a lot of fun making these games. Okay, so we're going to make a simple little game today. Simple to play, but it's a lot of fun to make. So here we go. Okay, so our game is I'm going to call it COVID Killer. Okay, we're all stuck at home at the moment because of this stupid COVID virus. And so we are going to make a game here that deals with killing it off. Okay. So I am going to get rid of the cat. I do not need him. Okay. Remember, if you get left behind, you can always just pause this video. So just pause the video and rewind it a little bit, and then you can catch up. Okay. So you can go along at your own pace. So I don't need this cat anymore. So I can click the little rubbish bin there, or I can right click him and I can say delete. Okay, so I don't need the cat anymore. So I'm going to go and load up some other sprites that I want, and I go down the list here, And my good guy, okay, the person that's going to be my good guy, I'm going to use this ghost here, okay, because he looks like a blob of hand sanitizer. Okay, so he's going to be my good guy. Okay, he's going to be the hand sanitizer. So I'm going to go and grab him. So I click on him and I can see I've got him there. Okay, now I'm going to go and fetch my other sprite that I need, and this is going to be my bad guy. Okay, so I go and say choose a sprite again, and I go down the list, and I go down all the way to P, and I'm going to pick this pufferfish. Okay, it says pufferfish, but he looks like a frightening looking virus as well. Okay, so we're going to go and grab him. Go and grab the pufferfish, and he's going to be the character that's going to be the virus. Okay, so let's start off with the blobby here. Okay, this blob of hand sanitizer. So I'm going to click on him. Okay, so I've clicked him, and I'm going to change his name. He's not going to be called Ghost anymore. His name is Blobby, the blob of hand sanitizer. Right. So let's get going with him. We're going to program him first. Now, Scratch, like many other programming languages, is what we call event-driven. Okay, an event is something that happens on your computer, and some examples of an event might be like pressing a key on the keyboard, or pressing your mouse button, or dragging your mouse. These are all different types of events. Event is just a fancy word for something that happens. Okay, and what your app does is it looks for certain events, and when that event happens, it runs a piece of code. So here you can see I've clicked on events, this section here, and you can see these are the events that Scratch is able to look for. So we are going to go and grab this one here when I click the green flag. So that means when I click on that green flag up there, that's how you would normally start your game. So I'm going to click on that green flag, and this event, whatever piece of code I put under here, is going to run when I click that green flag. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go to looks, and I'm going to say set size. Okay, because obviously Blobby is too big. When we play our game, I don't want him to be that big. I'm going to leave him big for now while we program, but I want to be able to change his size later on. And this is the command that will do it. Okay, in the look section, these are all the things that will deal with what your sprite looks like, how big it is, you can make him say things. You can change his color and all sorts of things like that. Okay, so anything to do with changing his looks, all those commands is in the look section. Okay, so I can set his size. I'm going to leave it for 100% for now. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to animate him. Okay, so if I click here on costumes, you'll see that he has got 4 different costumes. Okay, there are 4 different snapshots of Blobby. So what I can do is if I flip him between those different costumes, I can make him move. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to the control section. I'm going to get this forever loop. Okay, a loop, like its name suggests, it makes something happen over and over and over and over. It loops, and this one here is going to loop forever. So as long as my game is running, whatever I've put inside this loop will just loop over and over and over. And what do I want to happen? Well, if I go to looks again, I want to say next costume. So that's going to flip between the costumes. So let's run and let's see what it does. And we can see he's flipping, but he's flipping so fast that he doesn't look very good. Okay, so we need to slow him down a bit. So I go to the orange, the control section, and I take this wait. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to wait, and I make it 0.2 seconds. So this loop will change his costume, then it'll wait 0 0.2 seconds. It'll flip around, change his costume, wait 0 0.2 seconds, change his costume, wait 0 0.2 seconds, and it will do that forever. So let's run it now. That's looking a bit better. Perfect. Okay. So now we have got him to animate. Okay. Now I will show you a little trick with Scratch here that a lot of people leave out. But if you're going to be a good programmer, you want to be able to do this. I'm going to right click on this block. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say add a comment. Now inside here, okay, I can say initialize and animate. Okay, so this is just a little comment that I leave for myself so that when I come back to my program, let's say in a year's time, I want to change it, I can see, oh, okay, that's what this piece of code does. Initialize is just a fancy word for sets it up, and it makes them animate. Okay, so it's just a comment. It doesn't do anything in the code. It's just a message that you leave yourself. Like you can see, it looks like those yellow post-it notes. Perfect. So the next thing I want to do is I need Blobby to start moving. Okay, so I'm going to go to the motion section. Okay, and I'm going to go and take a move block. And now I could put the move block inside here. Okay, and I'm going to say set it to, let's say, 2. But this is going to have a problem, and I will show you what the problem is. Okay, so let's start him off and see. Look how he's moving. He's like jerking. And the reason for that is, remember, we've got this 0.2 second wait here. Okay, so changes costume, waits 0.2 seconds, he moves 2 steps. So we've got this constant wait in the move, and that messes it around. Okay, so that's not the best place for it. So I will show you a trick. Let's take that out. So I'm going to go back to the events section. Okay, and I'm going to go and get another green flag. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the control section and I'm going to go and get another forever loop. And I'm going to put my move inside there. So when I click my green flag, 2 things is going to start happening. This piece here is going to start him animating. And this piece here is going to start him moving. But you can see now that the wait is not messing up the move. Okay, so let's watch what happens if I move him now. Oh, now he's looking much better. Okay, much better. But now we have a problem that he hits the side and then he gets stuck because we've got no way of steering him. Okay, so I'm just going to go here quickly. I'm going to say add my comment and I'm going to just say there, move Blobby. So I know that piece of code, that's to deal with moving him. Okay, that's the note I leave for myself. Okay, so now I need to steer him around. Okay, so how do I do that? Well, I want to press a key. Okay, so I'm going to go to events. And I must look for an event here that's watching for when I press a key. And here it is here. It says when the space key is pressed. Okay, so now I'm not interested in the space key. I want to know when has the left arrow been pressed. And you can see it can look for all the different letters and numbers on your keyboard, but it can also look for the arrows. So I want to know when has the left arrow been pressed. So this is an event that will fire. We call it firing, okay, or triggering. And whatever code I put under this will run when that key gets pressed. So what do I want to happen? Well, I want it to turn anti-clockwise by, let's say 5 degrees. Okay, so let's see if that runs. Okay, so I'm going to click him. I'm going to hold my key, and yes, here he comes back again, so I can start steering him around. Okay, so we are starting to make some headway here. Okay, now I can tell you that this works. Okay, but it's clumsy. Okay, you'll find that when you push the keys, he doesn't react very fast. So I will show you another trick that you are going to do here. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to go back to my control section, and this time I'm going to go and get another loop, this one over here. Okay, repeat until. Okay, this is a loop like forever, but it's not going to run forever. I am going to tell it when it must stop. Okay, so I'm going to put that inside this little 6-sided area. Okay, that will tell it when it must stop. So when must it stop? Well, I want it must keep on turning for as long as I'm holding the key down. Okay, as soon as I'm not holding the key, it must stop. So that's it. It must repeat until I am not pressing the left arrow. So I can go to operators. Okay, so we call this a logical operator. Look at its shape. It's 6-sided. Okay, and I'm going to go and put it in there. Not. Okay, and now I need to sense. Okay, so that's the key. I need to sense. So I'm going to the sensing area, and I want to know when is the key being pressed. So I'm going to go and put it in there, and I'm interested in the left key. So look what that says. It says repeat until I am not pressing the left arrow. Now I can promise you that works much better than just putting the turn degrees underneath there. Okay, and you will find that in programming a lot. There's always a better way of doing things. Okay, so I'm now going, that does the left arrow, and now I must do the right arrow quickly. So I'm going to go to events, same thing. When the key is, so when it is pressed, this time I'm looking for the right arrow. I go to my control, I'm looking for repeat until. I go to operators, I look for not. I go to sensing, and I'm looking for key pressed. And the key I'm looking for this time is right arrow. Okay, and then what must it do while I'm pushing the key? Well, I want him to move. So sorry, not move. I want him to turn clockwise. Okay, so he's going to turn clockwise by 5 degrees. Okay, so here is my left turn. Here is my right turn. He's just going to move. He's going to constantly move, and I must just steer him. Okay, so let's see if that works. Here we go, arrow, and yes, I can do left and I can do right turns. Perfect, we're looking good here. So let's stop that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now that I've finished him, I'm just going to make him a bit smaller. Let's say 30%. Okay, so I just went here to set his size. So when I start him off, you can see now he's smaller. There he is. That's how big I want him to be in my game. Okay, and you can see I can steer him around and I can stop him. Perfect. Okay, so that is Blobby done. Let's come to our enemy. Okay, the pufferfish. So I'm going to cross his name out there, and I'm going to write COVID in there. Okay, because that is the name of this virus that we are going to be chasing. So I've got COVID in there, and now I must start programming him. So what do I want him to do? Well, I want him to just bounce around the screen. Okay, and then I will chase him, and then when I kill him, when I get to him, I will kill him. Okay, so he must be bouncing around on the screen. So, like we did for Blobby, we're going to set some code for COVID. So here we go. We go to the event section. We get the green flag. Right. He's also too big. I don't want him to be that big. So I want to go to looks, and I want to go and get a set size. I'm going to leave him at 100 for now, 100% full size, just while we work on him. But then I'm going to change him later. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the control section, and I'm going to go and get a forever loop because I want to animate him. Okay, if I go to costumes, I can see he's also got 4 different looks to him. Okay, and I'm going to, just like I did for Blobby, I'm going to flip through them for COVID to make it look like he's moving. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to go get a forever loop, and then I'm going to go to looks, and I'm going to say next costume. Now, I know if I leave it like that, it's going to flip the costume too fast. So I must go to the control section, and I must go and get a weight, just like I did before. And I'm going to make it 0.2. Right, let's see what happens. Okay, so he is animated. Perfect. That's what we want to see. Okay, so let's go back to COVID. Now, I want to be able to move him. Okay, so just like before, I had this problem with moving him if I put the move inside here, because the weight will mess it around. So just like with Blobby, we're going to change this a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go to events again. I'm going to run a second event. Here it is here. Okay, and I'm going to go and get a forever loop. Okay, there it is there. And I'm going to say move. So I'm going to make it move. And I'm going to make him move, let's say, 3 steps. I want him to be a little bit faster than Blobby. Blobby's moving 2 steps. I want the virus to be a little bit faster because he's harder to catch. So if I move him, off he goes. There he goes. But you can see what happens. He just hits the edge of the screen and he gets stuck there. So we can get around that. Here in the motion section, there's a command that says, if on the edge, bounce. That's what we want to do. So we're going to move him, and if he hits the edge of the screen, then he must bounce. Boom, you can see he popped off. Okay, doink, he hits it again. So you can see he's bouncing off the side. And you'll do it on the top and the bottom as well. But we don't want him to always go in exactly the same way. So we want to change him a bit. Okay, so you can see I've got a command here that says, go to random position. So I'm going to put that outside of the forever loop. Okay, so he's going to go to some random position on the screen. Okay, so whenever I start my game, he will start in a new place. That's what random means. Okay, he'll start in a new place. And also, I want him to face a different way. Okay, he must move in a different direction. I don't want him to always go to the right. So I'm going to say point in direction. There's a command there. Okay, and once again, I'm going to put it outside of the loop. Okay, point in direction. Okay, direction 90 is always to the right. I don't want that. Okay, I want it to be a random. So I'm going to go to green operators. And I'm going to say, pick a random number. Okay. So now we know in a circle, there's 360 degrees. So I'm going to say, I want you to go from 0 to 359. Okay, and one other thing, okay, believe me, you will need this, and I will show you later why. Okay, I'm just going to go to looks, and here at the bottom, there's a show, okay, and I'm going to put that outside of the loop as well. And that means if he's invisible, then he becomes visible. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'm going to start up, and you can see he started over there. If I click the arrow again, he started in a different place, and he's going a different way. So each time I click the green arrow, he's starting at a random place on the screen, and he's in a random direction. So that's what we want in a game. We want random things to happen. Otherwise, the game is too easy. Okay. So I'm going to make one small change here. Okay, so here what's happening is he's going to a random place and he's picking his direction and he's moving, but he's only doing it when he hits the green flag. Now you will see as we are in our game here, I want this piece of code to happen every time I kill him. Okay, so every time Blobby hits him, he must jump to a random place and moving in a random direction. So I don't want to do it when the green flag is there. Okay, so I'm going to keep this piece of code. This is important. Okay, I want that. And I'm going to throw that piece away. I don't need that. This time I'm going to go to events, and I'm going to use this one here when I receive. Okay, so I'm going to take that event out, and I'm going to put it on top there. And I'm going to change that. I'm going to put a new message, and we're just going to say infect. Okay. So this message here, this is called a broadcast. And it's a thing that Scratch uses to let sprites communicate secretly. Okay, we can't see it on the screen. We don't know it's happening, but the sprites know it's happening. Okay, and they are secretly communicating. And this word, infect, is what's going to run this piece of code. So that event will trigger, it will fire when COVID hears that secret word out in the back there. Okay, and the way that we send that, the way that we send the message is with this one here, broadcast. Be careful you don't pick broadcast and wait. You don't want that one. You want this one, broadcast. And I'm going to put that up here just after I've set the size. And what I want to broadcast? Well, I want to broadcast that infect message. So watch what's going to happen here. When I click the green flag, okay, he's going to get his size set, and then the secret message is going to be sent out, infect, and this piece of code immediately starts to run. He will go to a random place, he will start moving, and then his costume will start animating. Okay, so that is the flow. That is the flow of the program. You can see that it branched off here and it did this, and then it carried on doing this. So let's see if that works. Yes, look at that. Each time I hit the arrow, each time I hit the green flag, he restarts again. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so let's see what we have got here. Okay, I can go and I can set the size of the COVID down. Okay, he's now moving, he's bouncing around the screen. I can say change him down to 30%. So I'll go and change his size. And you can see there he goes. And you can see here's my Blobby here. And you can see I can go and chase him down. Okay, and I hit him. But the problem is, okay, so we've got the COVID is going around, Blobby is going around, but the problem is that we have got no way of knowing if we've killed him. Okay, so we just don't know if we have killed him or not. So we need to check on that. Okay, So remember, I'm not putting them in here because I'm just going to run out of space. Okay, I'm just going to put this up top here a bit, but you should be putting in your comments there. Remember, right click it and put a comment there saying what this piece of code does. Okay, I'm not going to put them on there because they just take up some space that I want to leave on my screen for you. Okay, so I'm going to show you now how do we detect if we have killed the virus, killed the COVID. Okay, so I'm clicked on COVID here, and remember I'm looking at my code as if I am COVID. So I have to ask myself a question here. Has Blobby hit me? And I must ask that question over and over. Has Blobby hit me? Has Blobby hit me? Has Blobby hit me? Has Blobby hit me? Okay, if he hasn't, then I just ignore it. But if he has touched me, okay, then he has killed me, and I have to do something. So I'm going to go and get another green flag. Okay, so I come to the green flag. Okay, and you've seen me do this before. We're going to go and get a forever loop because I must look forever. I must ask myself that question. Has Blobby hit me? Has Blobby hit me? Has Blobby hit me? And I must do it for as long as the game is running. Okay, so that's why I've got a forever loop there. So this piece of code, remember, that's going to run, and this will run as soon as I hit the green flag. Okay, so now I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go and get an if statement. Okay, so the if statement allows me to ask a question. Okay, and I'm going to put that inside there. So the question I want to say is if, and I'm going to go to sensing, and I'm going to say if I am touching Blobby. Okay, so if I am touching Blobby means he's got me, okay, and he has killed me. So whatever I put inside this if statement, that will only run when Blobby has hit me. Okay, if he has not hit me, this piece of code does not run. Okay, it's only if this answer here is true, if touching Blobby. Okay, if that is true, what do I want to happen? Well, the first thing I want to happen is, the COVID, I must go invisible. Now, the reason for this is because your computer is so fast, it's going to see Blobby has hit me, Blobby has hit me, Blobby has hit me. For the amount of time that Blobby is touching me, I'm going to get like 1,000 points because it runs so fast. You want to try and slow. I must disappear. So as soon as he touches me, immediately I must disappear so that he only gets 1 point for hitting me. Okay, that was why we put this show up here. Okay, that is the opposite of hide. So I'm going to hide. Okay, that's the first thing I want to do is hide. And then I want to run. Okay, I want to broadcast. After I've hidden, I want to broadcast infect. Because as soon as I do that, then we know that this piece of code is going to run. While I'm hidden, I'm going to jump to a random place. I'm going to point in a random direction. I will become visible again, and I will start moving. Okay, so as soon as Blobby touches me, I will jump somewhere else on the screen. Let's try this. Let's see if it works. We test our code. You must remember, we always test our code while we're building it. So let's go. So here we go. Let's drive Blobby into him. Okay, we're going to have to try and catch up to him. Boom, boom, boom. I hit him. See, he went away. He moved to some other place on the screen. Boom, he did it again. Okay, so we know our code is working. We can hit him, and he jumps somewhere else. Okay, so I will show you now the last piece of what we're going to do. Okay, the last piece of what we are going to do is we are going to put a score up here in the top corner. Okay, we want to keep a score there. as to how many times we have killed him. Okay, that's what we like to do. We're trying to kill as many COVID viruses as we can. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on the stage. Okay, so you can see I've come right to the right-hand side. I've clicked on the stage. And I'm going to make myself a piece of scoring code. Okay, so the reason I'm doing it on the stage is because the score has not really got anything to do with Blobby or the COVID. Okay, the score is general for the whole game. So anything that's general for the whole game, I just put it on the stage. Okay, you might not know that, but you can put code on the stage. Okay, so I'm going to go here on the stage, and I'm going to say, right, when the game starts, okay, so I'm going to say when I click the green flag, you've seen that before a couple of times. I'm now going to go to variables. Now, variables in programming are super important. A variable is a piece of information that I can give a name to it, and I can use it in my program. Okay, so I'm going to say make a variable, okay, and I'm going to call it kills. So this is going to be, it's called kills, and that variable is going to be what saves the number of kills I've got. And you can see as soon as I do that, this here, the fact that I've got it ticked here, as soon as I tick it, you'll see it appears over here. And the first thing I want to do when the game starts is I want to set my number of kills to 0. Okay, so that sets me back to 0. Now what I want to do is I am going to use broadcast. Remember that secret messaging system that allows sprites to talk to each other. We're going to use the broadcast system to send a secret message each time COVID gets killed. So I'm going to go to events, okay, and I'm going to say when I receive, okay, and now it's not infected, I'm going to go and make another message, okay, a new message, and we're going to say COVID killed. Okay, so that's the message, the secret message that's going to get sent behind the scenes. We won't know it. We can't see it as the user, but the sprites can see it, and the stage can see it. So I'm going to say that's my secret message. So what happens if that secret message goes out? Well, I go to variables again. I want to change my number of kills by 1. Okay, so that will increase my counter. Every time I hit the COVID, okay, every time I kill him, I'm going to get +1 on my score. Perfect. So let's go back to COVID. So there's my score written. Remember, you want to put your comments here, guys. That's good programming, okay? You want to put your comments on here just to remind you of what they do. So I'm going to go back to COVID, okay? And here, this section here, inside the if statement, okay, that dealt with when I got killed. Okay, we know that this section inside the if statement, that was when I got killed. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to, after I've sent the broadcast for the infection, so that he gets put, so the COVID gets put on the screen somewhere else, I'm going to make sure that I also send COVID killed. So the scoring is going to know that it must give me a score. So let's see if that works. Here we go. Let me just hit him. Boom, I got 1 kill. There you can see the score's gone up. Boom, I got another one. Boom, I got another one. So it is working great. You can see I've got 3 kills there already. So the last thing I'm going to show you is how to make a sound. Okay, you might not be able to hear this, okay, but I'm going to go here. So I'm on the COVID. I'm going to go to sounds over here, and I'm going to add a sound. So I go down here, and I'm going to choose a sound, and there are a lot of built-in sounds. And I'm going to go down to, you can pick any sound you want, of course. This is, remember I said it's your game, your rules. That's why we do this. I'm going to go to chomp. So I'm going to pick the chomping sound. Okay, and I'm going to delete the ocean wave. I don't want that one. I just want chomp. So I'm going to come here, okay, to where the COVID was killed. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to sounds, and I'm going to say play sound chomp, okay, and I wanted to go chomp chomp. So I wanted to go twice. So I'm going to go and put it in there twice. Okay, so let's go and have a look at this. I don't know if you'll hear the chomping. Let's have a look. Yours on your computer, you probably will. Okay, I can't hear it on here, but believe me, when you are playing your game, you will be able to hear it. Okay, so chomp chomp, there it's done. All that we have got left to do is, okay, the background here looks horrible. So we're going to go here. We're going to say choose a backdrop. And let's go say, let's choose, you can choose whatever you want, okay? We're just going to pick your bedroom because obviously we don't want any COVID viruses finding their way into your bedroom. And if they're there, we want to be able to kill them. Okay, so here we go. So there you've got your bedroom up. And here we can go and boom, boom. So I've got some kills and I've got my COVID virus busy being killed. Okay, guys, I hope you got your game going. Remember, if you got left behind a little bit, it doesn't matter. You can just pause the video and catch up again. Remember, always go to File and save your game. Okay, so you're going to go to File and you're going to say Save to your computer, and you can call it COVID Killa. Okay, and you click Save, and that will have saved your game for you. Okay, so you want to save your game quite often as you're going through. I didn't really mind because I've got a laptop, so if the electricity goes off, the laptop stays alive. But if you're on a desktop computer, then you probably want to save it quite often, or you might lose your work. Okay. Well, I hope you had fun, guys. I hope you had fun building that game. And feel free to change it. Use whatever sprites you want. If you don't want the pufferfish, you can do something else. Remember that you can go here to the costumes and you can go and change the colors if you want to. You can make this COVID virus look pretty gruesome. You can make him all green and yellow or something. Like I said, it's your game. It's your rules. That's why you learn how to make these games. Okay, so until next time, and we build another different game, I hope you have a lot of fun. Okay, cheers for now, guys.